Let's see here. All right, we've started. All right, today we have ourselves a Ford Escape. I don't know what year this is. I want to say first gen, 2007. Anyway, we're doing heater core. Step one, get these freaking old heater hose pipes off. I found that the simplest way was I took a hammer and chisel and just chopped through them, hammered through it, sliced right through, broke them off the firewall, and then once they were out, pulled the heater hoses up and get the hose clamps off, and that made it simpler. They're just aluminum if they're factory. The aftermarket one was aluminum. Inside the dash, you can leave the radio bezel apparently alone. You didn't need to undo that. You will need to undo your center console. The hardest, trickiest part for me was the black piece that went along the center of it, getting that clear. But otherwise, you have to put your seats all the way back, get the screws off here. They're like 7mm heads. There's also a couple that go in from the sides and the back here. You don't need to go straight down. There's 4 down there. You don't need to do them. You just do these side ones right here and repeat the same process on the driver's side. You're gonna need to unplug a lot of the plugs at the fuse panel here just to kind of get the, actually probably could have left it alone. I undid them just for the more slack. I think you can actually get away without doing it. The dash itself, you're probably gonna want, just for the visual, oh shit, my finger's covering up. I'm sorry, people. These are my videos. Malachi's videos have always been this fucking way. So if you don't like my cursing, you don't like the way I do them, well, fuck you then. Watch somebody else's videos and learn how to do it. Anyway, you're going to want to get the dash out. You're going to have to take out this rubber trim right here. Take out this upper piece, goes along the A-pillar on both sides. See, the driver's side's also been done. That one was a little tricky in that you need a 7mm 1/4 drive on an extension, but otherwise it was pretty straightforward. You're going to want to pull out the instrument cluster. Before you actually take out the steering column. Steering column is mostly 10mm. There's a boot down underneath. You have to get that out to get access to the pinch bolt or the pin bolt, whatever that locks it in place. You take the steering column out, set it to the side, take the instrument cluster out. It's only a couple screws, one plug. That comes out. Presumably you had the knee panel off there. You need these 2 little side pieces right here off. Gives you access to these 2 right here. In the center, up here, there's one. It's also pretty easy to access. I think it's a 10mm. Most everything here was either 10 or 7mm. I think there might have been an 8mm somewhere. I think the hood releases at 8mm, even though I left it on. You can leave your you can leave your radio bezel in place. I spent a bunch of time trying to undo these damn plugs for the heater controls. They were a bitch. I was like, fuck this. I left it in place and didn't need it. There's one nut that's in behind your steering, your instrument cluster. You have to get that. On the sides, there are 2 on each side here. 2 bolts right here and here, I believe. You're gonna want to get these 2 out. And this little stud right here actually goes into this alignment slot when you put the thing back in. It doesn't bolt in there, it just drops in, helps you align the whole dash when you're pushing it up. Anyway, from there, I think that's about it as far as the dash. Like I said, the center console was probably about one of the hardest hassles. That top plastic piece was a bitch trying to get it off the steering column or steering thing. It didn't want to clear the bottom right here. Eventually, I finagled it. Now, once you get to that point, your dash hopefully should come right off. You pull the whole dash assembly out, and it's really helpful to have a second person. Your heater core is in here, so you're going to want to have to pop this off, which is, I think I used a little screwdriver. Pop the little thing, slide it off the shaft. Behind there's this rod. You're going to have this rod off. It comes right off pretty easy. Don't lose this little plastic piece. It wants to slide off. Comes apart pretty. Just keep an idea how things are when you're taking them off. At that point in time, there's 3 screws holding your heater core in, or holding this plate on. Take those off, take that plate off, and the heater core almost slides out. Unfortunately, it hits right in here. This is where you need, as we can see, Malachi kind of scuffed it up right here. I have to work that plastic down with his fingernail, massage it down, make it pretty again. You need, really helpful to have a second person lift from the passenger side the whole dash assembly up and slide the heater core out. I couldn't grab the heater core. I had to push it from the driver, or from the inside of the passenger, or the basically engine bay. Push it in from the engine bay so that it starts moving, and then you can just grab it and slide it out like a cassette. You'll need somebody to lift this up to get the clearance to pull it out. Once it's on the ground, clean out your inside, slip a new one in, 3 screws, put your assembly. Now, I had a little trouble getting this assembly back together. Basically, I ended up having to use the heater control here to clock that to the right angle to get it to go back on perfectly, but no problems. And at that point, it'd be helpful to have a second person lifting this thing with you to set it back in place. If you don't have that, I didn't have that, so I'm going to be doing this by myself. You do not need to take off the heater core, none of these nuts. You do not have to open up your AC system. It took me about an hour and a half to get to this point, and that was just me taking my time. So I think if somebody's really skilled, they could probably do this entire job in about 3 hours or less. Now that I know what I'm doing, I could probably do it in maybe 2, maybe 3, I don't know. We'll see. I'm only halfway done, so the new heater core is in. It took, like I said, it took me an hour and a half to get to that point. So depending on how easy this dash is to set back up in place, and then just boom, 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 slip it together, I might be done in 45 minutes from now. Fill up the coolant, make sure the heat works, all your control functions. You have to want to hook all your stuff back up. Sometimes you have to remove some of the stuff to get clearance to get, you know, it apart. But that's it. Hope this helps somebody. Once again, after all these videos, we all know how it is. Peace out, bitches.